Hey. So I wanted to make this video because being new to the box trucking industry, um it's been a lot of work. I have to find my loads, negotiate the prices, fill out all the paperwork, and drive, load, unload, and all that. So to alleviate some of all that stress, I hired a couple of dispatchers. Um, And now my first two dispatchers I went through, they really didn't find me anything. I was sitting for about 2 days, and which for me is a no-no because I rent my truck and it's $200 a day and 30 cents a mile. So every day I'm sitting, that's $200 wasted. So my truck, I'm sure all of our trucks need to be moving, of course, to make money. So um, I hired this dispatcher, and she was new, but I'm new, so I decided to give it a go. Because I didn't want to knock anybody for being new. Now, this is my fault because I put too much trust into someone who wasn't necessarily capable. So, I was in the middle of a load, and my dispatcher called me about a load after 2 days. So, I just wanted to go ahead and give it a shot. I wasn't really focused on what she was telling me, and I accepted the load because I was getting kind of desperate. So, she had mentioned something about 20%. Now, I was a little confused because my factoring company takes out 4%, and her fee was 10%, which is really high, especially for a new dispatcher. So that should have been 14%. Um, and she said something about 20%, and that was sitting on my mind for a while. I was on the way to pick up the load. The load was $4,000 coming from North Carolina to Florida. I can't remember what part of Florida right now, but the total mileage was 700. Um, I tell my dispatchers I can't move my truck for less than 150 a mile, which is reasonable. Um, it definitely can be done. The loads that I've done so far have been around $2 a mile, which don't let anyone tell you that $2 a mile is impossible for a new authority, because I have been getting those loads. It hasn't been a lot, but I have been getting those loads. It's very possible. Um, so I called her the next day as I'm on the way to pick up this load, and I inquire about the 20%. And she expresses to me that that was the authority fee, um, which at the time I was on the phone with her, I thought she was speaking of a brokerage fee. So I asked her, is that including your fee? And she says no. So then I asked, so total I have to pay 30%, which is insane. So my take pay for this load would only be $1 per mile, because my take home would be $700, which is insane. Um, so I get there, I pick up the load, and after I pick up the load, I get a phone call from someone else inquiring about the load, and I ask him about this 20% that they're taking from me, and he says that it is because of the authority fee. So I ask him what exactly authority fee is, and he explains to me that I was running under his authority, which I never consented to. My dispatcher never asked me if I wanted to run under someone else's authority, because there are a lot of restrictions as far as not having 90 days authority. A lot of brokers don't want to work with people who have less than 90 days authority. But again, my dispatcher never disclosed that information to me, because I've already went through the process of getting my own authority, and I'm not trying to run under anyone else's authority, because that's what all this hard work and dedication for the last few months has been for. Um, so being that I was already loaded, I went about the load. I proceeded through, dropped the load off, no problems. But I just wanted to make people aware that if you're new, um, don't put all don't put all your trust into these dispatchers, because a lot of them are just trying to make a quick dollar. Um, they're not really putting in the work catered to you as a driver, as a business owner. And you really want to make sure that your math is adding up. Again, I know that was my fault, because I should have asked more questions. I should have inquired more, and I shouldn't have put so much trust into a dispatcher. But so we're still moving. That dispatcher is no longer with me, because after mileage and fuel, time and effort, I only really profited about $20 off of that load. So just be mindful. Have a blessed day.